Hi there, welcome to my channel. It looks like the lighting is not going to be adequate, so I'm going to pause and then I'm going to put on these lights here. I don't know if it's going to help, so just give me a few seconds, okay? Okay, I don't know if this is going to be adequate. This is a midnight reading anyway, so like I said, I like to keep the energy ambient when I do these midnight readings, okay? So this is a midnight reading for the new year, and let's just see where this is going. I usually do oracle deck. To everyone who are the new subscribers, I do 2 of these readings every week, or I can't remember how many times I do it, but anyway, I think it's every week, twice a week. I'm not sure. I can't remember. So I usually take oracle deck and I just go see what's going on in the planets, and then I do my readings intuitively, and I see what the universe, what lessons and messages the universe has for the collective. So this is basically a collective reading, okay? A collective midnight reading. So to everyone who are new subscribers, thank you for being here. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Welcome to my channel. I really appreciate your support and you being here. Anyway, let's start with your reading, okay? Let's see what lessons and messages the universe has for you today. Okay. Okay, your first card is surrender with joy. Slow down to relax. Energy of love. Drunk with love. Move forward. Speak out. Union of love. Make a change. Life's purpose. And then determination is your last card. And at the bottom of the deck, it's imagination. Draw from the well of your own capabilities. Draw from the well of your own capabilities. Okay, so, oh my gosh, it's very hot in here. Anyway, I didn't put, I put off the fan because the fan's noise is interfering in the readings. Anyway, this is the messages that came through for you. I have it here in my book. I made the notes while I did your meditation. So we all know that Mercury is in retrograde, or there was a lot of planets actually that was in retrograde, okay? And the red planet Mars is harmonizing with Venus, and this is after months in retrograde, okay? So there's a lot of flaring passions. Okay, so there could be a lot of flared passions at the moment with feelings, people expressing what they feel. Okay, intense, passionate feelings could flare up, okay? And it's almost like it's okay for intense, passionate feelings to flare up, but it has to be accompanied. It shouldn't only stay with just words. It should be accompanied with action. In other words, it's almost like a case of put your money where your mouth is, basically, okay? And the other thing that also came through is you are what you eat, and you are what you eat, and be careful the company that you keep. So other people can influence you. Okay, you can be surrounded, your peers, in other words, they can influence you. But at the end of the day, whatever they do, for instance, say for instance you have a group of friends, the type of music they listen to can influence you, etc. Okay, the type of say for instance you're a young person, and what type of drinks they consume, for instance, could influence you, the type of music they listen to. But at the end of the day, the ultimate choice is ultimately with you. Okay, how you lead your life, the choices you make, what you allow and what you don't allow, this is ultimately your choice. So although you can be influenced by other people, at the end of the day you have the choice to either allow these influences to affect you to a great extent, that you, in other words, accept these influences and make it your own, or you can stay focused and centered and also keep your own identity. Okay, so this is what came through. um okay, what else is there that came through? The other thing that also came through is this retrograde that we stepped out of. Okay, this retrograde period that we currently stepped out of, it left us with there's a lot of lessons that a lot of people learned. In other words, a lot of things was exposed, um, a lot of clarity, almost like eureka light bulb moments that people experienced. Okay, and seeing that it's the new year, it's almost like we need to reassess and learn and relearn some things. Okay, so it's almost like I just shared earlier the song by Mariah Carey, Hero, where she sings that we we as a society, we have the savior syndrome. Okay, there's this one video that you maybe call should look at, the who is God, what is God, and where is God. We have the savior syndrome where even in our fairy tales, in our religions, in even in romantic relationships or whatever, we have this notion that somebody is going to come and rescue us from certain situations. Okay, and sometimes we burden other people maybe unnecessarily emotionally too, because we want this person to maybe fulfill some kind of emotional aspect that we cannot fulfill in ourselves, and now we burden this other person with us. Okay, which is unfair at the end of the day, because you seek personal validation and fulfillment from somebody else, whereas you should learn to get this from inside of yourself. So what I'm trying to say is, although this might sound harsh, okay, although this might sound harsh, at the end of the day, we should also understand that whatever validation we seek or whatever saving we seek, we should seek it within ourselves, okay? Anyway, surrender with joy, slow down to relax, achieve greatness through surrender, okay? And as counterintuitive as this may sound, this is exactly what you need to do, okay? Sometimes we have circumstances that we go through or situations that we experience, and it feels overwhelming, okay? And we feel this urge that we need to take control of a situation, but actually this situation is out of your control. There's not much you can do. If you actually have done something, for instance, it could be anything. It could be even something that's related to your relationship or a work related situation. We have different relationships, okay? People need to step back from the notion that when we speak of relationship, we're always referring to romantic relationships. You have a relationship with your mom and with your dad, with your siblings, with your cousins, with your aunt and your uncle, with your extended family, with people that you work with. You have relationships every day, every single day with individuals that you work with. The people that you work with, and you work 10 years with these people, that's your family, okay? So it's your family away from home. So the situation, whatever this is, this learning experience, okay, that the collective has, it comes across as, obviously this learning experience comes across as something that was through this past 2022 that we went through. This learning experience was something that was very draining to us. This is what's coming through with these two cards. It's draining. And with change, it always comes with chaos and upheaval. And usually it causes a lot of stress and anxiety, especially when you feel it's rocking some type of security of yours or comfort zone. And we as individuals, we as pack animals, we have this tendency to huddle. Okay, we huddle. If you look at pack animals, they huddle. And when they huddle, look at lions, even dogs do this, okay? To preserve body heat. To preserve body heat in cold periods, they would huddle and create a cocoon where they would sleep together in order for them to preserve that body heat. So what happens when your security system is under threat, basically, is you huddle and you center and you close off. Okay. And this is exactly what's happened for us. Our security was penetrated by what happened with everything that happened in this world. And what we need to do now is everything that happened was turned upside down. Like everything that we experience currently, it was like turned upside down. Everything that we know, everything that we perceived, it was turned upside down. So this is what we need to do now. We need to slow down and relax, and we need to surrender to whatever this is, because this is something that's totally out of our control. And you need to just go with this. It's like a person that's trying to swim upstream, okay? Swim against the current. And this is not what's going to be beneficial, because you're going to stress yourself out, okay? If you swim upstream and you swim against the current, you cause stress and anxiety and unnecessary strain on your body. So you need to relax. You need to surrender to this experience. You need to allow the universe to just guide you. Basically, this is what's coming through. Okay. So energy of love and drunk with love. And this is, if you look at my previous readings, you will always see that when my philosophy for love is creating understanding. And if you create understanding for something, you develop a type of an empathy, because you have this perspective, okay? This in-depth perspective of something, okay? So the energy of love and drunk of love, energy of love to me is energy of understanding, okay? And drunk with understanding. Energy of behold the world through the eyes of love. Behold the world through the eyes of understanding. In other words, place yourself. This speaks of placing yourself in another person's shoes. This is looking at something from another person's perspective. This is not having linear perspective. This is having an open mind. This is having a clean slate for a mind and starting anew, like a recalibration, okay? So today, these two cards comes across as recalibrating. This is exactly what we need to do. We need to recalibrate at the moment, okay? with this energy of love and this drunk with love. Let love lift you to freedom. Let understanding lift you to freedom. Develop this understanding with this card, energy of love. Behold the world. Develop understanding, okay, by putting yourself in another person's shoes, and then drunk with love, let love, and then when you have this understanding for whatever this experience is as an individual that you have, I'm speaking to the collective here because for each individual their learning experience was different with this retrograde, okay? So when you have this energy of love, when you have this understanding, you take it and you let it lift you to freedom. So I'm trying to get example of trying to get an example of let this understanding lift you to freedom. I can't think of an example. Move forward. Excuse me. When you have this understanding, you move forward. In other words, usually when you learn something that you haven't learned before, or you develop an understanding for something that you haven't understood before, say for instance, there could be this specific math problem that you've been struggling with for a very long time, and now all of a sudden you understand it after you've been struggling with it for a very long time, and now you have this. Usually when you develop, sorry, my eyes are itching. Usually when you develop an understanding for something, you have the ability to explain something to someone in a very simple way, okay? You have the ability to explain something to someone in a very simple way so that they can understand it. And this is what you need to do. You move forward and you experience the grace of who you truly are. In other words, it's almost like someone that's on an awakening spiritual journey. And after they've had this awakening experience, and they've developed a self-awareness about themselves, they move forward with this understanding, okay? And they experience the grace of who they truly are. So, okay, I can try to think of an example. It's almost like the only thing I can think of is this books that I spoke about of Neil Donald Welsh, this Canadian DJ that lost everything, and he was homeless. And while he was homeless, he rediscovered his experience with God. And I said that if you want to go on a spiritual journey and you're a religious person, you should start off with these books. Okay, so eventually, after he had this experience with God, okay, or his experience with his personal experience with God, he took his understanding and he developed his own practice where he wrote these books, and he started the spiritual practice, okay, and he has this following, and he also wrote other books, and he started his own podcast, not podcast but radio talk show, something to that effect, okay? So that this was the outcome of his experience, and it's almost like he took his experience, or even Ayana Van Zandt as well. She took her experience that she came out of an abusive relationship, and she became a counselor, and she used her experience that she had, and she helped other women, okay, to women to evolve, okay? So this is exactly what this card is speaking about. Move forward, experience the grace of who you truly are. It's like that reading of Kintsugi that I said, that your brokenness is your your brokenness is what makes you beautiful. I can't remember what it means, but I think you will understand what I'm trying to tell you, okay, or express to you. And this is exactly what this is here. Speak out. You eventually speak out, okay? You speak out about your experiences and what you went through. For instance, my weight loss, okay? And usually when you eat, you use food as solace to, because it's comforting. And usually when people eat, you if you look at certain people that on weight loss journeys, when they are with Dr. Phil, in most cases when people eat, and it was with me, it was the same. Okay, I ate because I wanted to comfort myself, because I was experiencing pain. Okay, mentally I was experiencing pain. And usually this is what the case is with people that are extremely like obese or overweight. And eventually when you address this pain, okay, the pounds, you start losing it, and you start losing that baggage. Okay, and you start realizing that you blocked your own mental growth, and you start being an inspiration for other people basically. Okay, so this is what is talking about. So union of love, embrace the beloved within your heart. This is, when I speak of the beloved, to me the beloved is God. But to me the beloved is God inside you. Okay, I don't know how to express this to people. God is not an entity to me outside of myself. God is not an entity. Okay, God is not a being. God is an energy, an omnipresent energy, almost like a consciousness, like a God consciousness, a Christ consciousness, a awakening experience that we all have and will have after we have experienced ourselves, okay, or our higher self. So this is what union of love. It's almost like, I don't know how to. I don't know, for lack of a better analogy. Abraham Hicks had made this example. If you can find the video, this union of love is like an orgasm. A person having an orgasm, and she also talks about this. It's like having orgasmic experience, basically. This is the nearest experience to God that you will have, is having an orgasm. And even Abraham Hicks speaks about this, where she was married, and she was happily married, and she was in love, and she started her spiritual practice actually with her husband. Okay, and he passed on. And she once spoke about this, where she said the closest thing you will ever experience to getting where, how God is and what God is and who God is having an orgasmic experience. It's like um, being high. Okay, somebody, this is why people use drugs. This is why people get addicted to certain things. Okay, this is exactly the same thing. Okay, this is why people choose to opt for using drugs and stuff like that. It's because even with oh my God, I don't know how to express this to you. Yeah, anyway, make a change. Okay, make a change. For each it's going to be different. I don't know how to express this to you. I don't know how to express this union of love to you. It's like with my experience that I had with when I had my self-awareness or awakening experience when I used psychedelics. Okay, this is exactly what I'm speaking about. It's like an orgasmic experience. Your brain, it's like I don't I don't know how way to express this. Okay, so make a change and life purpose. Okay, welcome change into your life and life's purpose. Seek your own deeper vision for life. This is exactly what's going to happen. I don't think many of us are there yet, okay, in this energy. But this is exactly what's going to happen eventually. And like everything in life, it's a process. It's something that happens, and it happens in increments, and it happens in levels, okay? Like it's like somebody that said it, there's levels to this. is HIT. Okay, there's labels to this stuff. So it's like someone ascending. Okay, this is exactly what's happening here with this make a change, welcome change into your life, seek your own deeper vision for life and life's purpose. It's like with my own experience. It's like you shed layers and layers and layers of stuff and gunk. And with every experience and download that you receive, you shed a layer, you shed a layer. And it's like you become naked. Spiritually, emotionally, mentally, you become naked and there's nothing left there anymore. It's like this quote, um, I don't know, I think it's in the Bible, which is from dust to dust, dust and ashes to ashes. Or, for instance, like when you die, this is exactly what happens. And you start realizing this, okay, with make a change and life's purpose, that you eventually just die and to dust you shall return. So you cling on to situations, people, circumstances for what? You're going to leave these things behind eventually. So you need to make the most of the days and the hours and the time that you have on this earth. Go for your dreams. Have that orgasmic experience that you, I don't know what the hell, okay. To each his own. So you shouldn't wait on life. You should grab it by both horns and make the most of it. And I think with this COVID and everything, if COVID hasn't taught us this, I don't know what will. If COVID and all these pandemic experiences that we've had this past 2 years that we've been experiencing life, if you haven't learned anything from this, it should be this, is that you should make the most of your life. You should go for that uh, uh, unusual thing, that dream, that desire that you have, that relationship, that whatever, because you're going to die and you're going to miss out. Okay, that's just the truth of it, and there's just no buttering up that. Okay, determination, perseverance leads to fortune, and this is exactly what even in that song, if you go listen to that song that I posted about Hero, where Mariah Carey sings, you have to have faith in yourself, you have to have faith in your own abilities. Okay, it's like I constantly go back to this where it says we Jesus cursed the fig tree and his disciples was in disbelief. People cling to the Jesus analogy or the Savior analogy. This is not what he was here to do. He came here to teach you about yourself. If he existed, if Jesus existed, he came here to teach people about himself and what they're capable of. And in that specific scene, or whatever you want to call it, scene, I don't have, for lack of a better word, he said, um, ye of little faith, if you believe and say mountain move and fall into the water or into the sea, it will do so. It speaks of having faith in yourself. Okay, having faith in your own abilities. Okay, you have a brain. Okay, there's this movie Lucy. Go watch that movie Lucy. Okay, just go watch it. Anyway, I have to go. Uh, please take care. Have a wonderful day. I love you.